Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to Docu Sweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which, God bless, definitely is ripe for the season and maybe a little sour, but also definitely juicy. And at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet. Ha 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 ha.
Hi!
Yay!
So today we're talking 90 Day Fiancé Season 10, Episode 5, Committed in Matrimony. Remember, it was these two lovers, and now they're committed in matrimony. Isn't that great?
This feels like I've never been, a teacher in school, but you know how like you can imagine that like some teachers just get essays just full of like the most flowery words just to basically be like, I didn't do the assignment. This is kind of like how it's been. Like obviously it's following the pattern of a ceremony that you're about to get married to, but it's like too many big words. That's how that's how I feel about it, especially for this cast. It's Rob the Knob and Sophie is who I'd like to start with. And nothing
But
says not no, but like using trying to like make yourself grander than you are. Go on.
right, by co-signing and talking about Beyonce and Jay-Z as though that has anything to do with your life. Okay, before we get started, Chris, I do think that we have some
Oh yeah,
announcements.
you're right. Ding 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 ding
Isn't
ding.
so how quickly we forget. So the
We
announcements
just talked about it. I did a
literally
tweet.
just talked about it. Okay, so the announcements that we have is number one, your girls did a little collaboo wabbies with the reality gays because unfortunately, our good friend, our best friend, if you will, Poodle slash Jake, is a little sicky wicky. So we stepped in and we assisted
Yeah,
our
that's
once
Wa
again
talking, by the way, because you
best
might think it's
friend.
me because of how many abbreviations she's doing. That whole time was Wa. She was like she was giving you Chris cosplay. Go on, go on.
Yes, there was a sicky wiki and the coops
Cool.
badoops and the
Kalabi
stitch.
wabbies. Sounds like some sort of like taco pokey place. Anyway, go on.
Yes. So Jake was ill, and so Matt asked us to step in, and so we did, and we had a fabulous time.
Mhm.
And for our patrons and some of their patrons, there will be some content, which is the visuals of what you listened to or listen to when you listen to their episode of season 10 episode 5 will be available on our Patreon. So our patrons get that visual. So that'd be super, super awesome. But please, you guys go on over to their podcast, Reality Gaze, anywhere you listen to podcasts, and listen to episode 5 featuring Docu Sweeties.
Mhm.
Um,
And side note is every time that we do a collab with them, we call it Reality Sweeties.
yeah. Yeah,
Anyway,
it's
but
cute.
they're not into that
Um
as much as we are, but God bless. Okay.
Chris, you can do the second announcement.
Uh-huh. So the second announcement is because I totally remember what it is. Don't even worry about it. No, I know what it is. We have our own live tomorrow. So yeah, obviously, if you're a sweetie, if you are in our Patreon, which now you're going to get, obviously what Wa says is you get to see the live stream that we did with them. You'll also get our own little, you know, girl sleepover style first Monday of the month Patreon live, which will happen tomorrow. And we have picked the beautiful time of 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central Time, which and other places just do the math. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's been lovely for us, and we were excited for that, and we can't wait to spend some time with the peeps, and we would love to see your faces, and well, actually not see your faces, mostly just like talk to you. We haven't been able to. We can't see people's faces yet, right?
No, we can't. So join
No.
us, okay? Join us
Yeah. You
tomorrow.
can see us. I promise. Well, listen. This is what I'll promise you: skincare. I'll
Mhm.
promise you. Oh yeah, no. This you're gonna see. I mean, obviously, you always see my bare face. When's the last time I put makeup on? But now, having said that, I'll get like suddenly just have like full glam, just sitting in front of you like a drag queen. But yeah, it'll be like a little, talk, and we want to like hear about anything that you want to talk about too of the shows or your lives. Like we're definitely down to engage. So, having said that, won't you engage with us with 90 Day Fiance, Committed Matrimony, and these engagements? So here we are. Here we are. This woman and this gentleman are a mess made in picking only based upon a visual Instagram thought
Aesthetic.
process. Yes, thought process where something is real and something is not. And it's like they live in the Instagram world even though they're in the real world. So like for some reason, even if she's going to a bathroom not in the same room, it's like she can't, it's like any one of us would be like, "Oh, get out." But for some reason, she's still caught up in his eyes and whatever Instagram picture she thought of and what her idea of LA is, which that's what I want to talk about this episode for them.
Rob and Sophie.
Oh, sure. Rob and Sophie. Rob the knob. Sorry. I had said it. We can just whatever, go bust. Starts hot off of their big Dave and Buster's bust. Bust up. It's a Dave and Buster's bust up. I don't even know how that happened, babe, because nothing but joy happens at that place. I
Yeah.
mean, and for years.
Yeah.
So
It's a fantastic place. I mean, even though people bring their children there, which I wish that there was a Dave and Buster's that was 21 and over, but go ahead.
well, in LA, there was a place called Barcade, but I'm sure there's like, I wonder if
Mm,
there's other options. It's so
yeah.
funny that it is run over by children. And of course, their whole fight is over children, which is like, but it's like this thing where Rob, Rob is lost, is a lost soul on this earth who thinks for him to make his life better, he just has to check certain boxes. One box for a Rob is a hot girlfriend. Period. However, by hell or by high water. One other thing will be $1 million, no matter how it comes, because it's not going to be a career that feeds him. It'll just be money. He could. I mean, for Rob, it's like if he could hustle and sell Airbnbs and that. Like, remember how everyone was like, "Oh yeah, we're just going to invest a bunch of money, buy up a bunch of houses, and do Airbnbs the rest of our life." It's like Airbnbs, like basically nothing now. Anyway, God bless. So it's like one of those guys. And then the third thing would be like, have a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that looks like me. It's so where his own responsibility and how he's going to get from either one and what they mean to him and how they feed him is not part of the equation because it's about the end result and and no understanding of the process. This seems really easy for me to see. And then if I ever like want to implement that in my own life, it's very fucking hard. But anyway, well,
Yes. Rob starts out this episode with being like, "Babe, you want some coffee?" And we don't know how he's making coffee in this roach den.
it's not
And
Razvan. It's not Razvan coffee in his. Remember, like a Razvan coffee in like a modern little like
yep,
kitchen, honey. Yes.
this is done on the top of a dresser. And she is either ignoring him or doesn't hear him because by the time he does get her attention. She's like, "Oh, yes, babe." And then they go outside and
Wait. She's wearing. I caught them the buffalo plaid Target pajamas. How do I say this? Okay, are these his pajamas? Are these her pajamas? If they are her pajamas, she's not rich. And
I
no
have
one
a
talks
question.
about it. No one talks about it anymore. She's not rich. She's not rich.
I have a question.
Say
Why
it.
do you call them buffalo plaid?
It's just the name of it. I
Oh,
don't.
it's like
I'm not assigning that name.
oh, okay. It's like houndstooth is the name of that print. That print is called buffalo plaid, not just
Correct.
regular plaid. Okay.
Correct.
Or plaid if you were a
A
Scottish Highlander.
tartan. Yeah.
Or if you spoke the
Oh.
Gaelic. The Gaelic of the Scottish Highlanders. All right. So yes, so she's I guess doing as Buffalo Americans do and wearing buffalo plaid, and they go outside and they start to have a conversation about the kids subject. And as Chris was saying, it's just so interesting to have a conversation about kids when you are so far away from being able to even afford them. When you have done nothing to secure a situation in where a child might be able to be reared in a sanitary environment, an open sanitary environment. So for you to be mad at her about not wanting to have kids when she's only 23 and you are the old fogey who doesn't have his shit together, only has a two-seater, how are you even upset about kids when you have prepared nothing for them? So she talks about actually physically having kids, about being scared about physically having kids, and if he was open to adoption. And he says no, he wants, little mini me's, which in this day and age can come off a little selfish, even though folks do want children of their own DNA, own specific DNA. Um, and then they start talking about surrogacy, and everyone in the audience is like, surrogacy is for rich people, which you two are not, seemingly so. So why are we even having a surrogacy conversation? Like when Armando and Kenny have a surrogacy conversation, we're like, okay, they got money.
Mm-hmm.
But these
Mm-hmm.
two brokety brokes, we're like, you don't even have money, so we don't understand like where the point of this conversation is.
That's true.
So anyway, they decide on that might be an option for them if they become millionaires one day. And the next scene is with her getting ready to go out. And then there's that classic old 90-Day Fiancé theme of the girl taking so long to get dressed. Meanwhile, the man only needs 30 minutes. And as a child of a male who I have witnessed getting ready, it should take you an hour. You shower, you shave, you boop, you
Sorry. Just
you
got it. Uh-huh.
you trim, you know what I'm saying? You like trim the
A
beard.
shave. Okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
groom.
Or
Yeah,
shave, yeah, your face. Then you put on the aftershave if that's your bag, because I have a boomer dad. And then you like put on the cologne. Then you go and you iron your clothes if they're not ironed already. Okay, that's part of that part. Then you put the clothes on, you stand in the mirror, and then you take your time deciding what shoes to wear and what jacket to wear. And then you put your shoes on and you stomp in your shoes, and then you turn to your wife and you go, Dinethel, are you ready? And then your wife says, almost. And that process takes at least an hour. Does it not, Chris?
He stomps in his shoes just to make sure like they feel good that day.
Yeah, unfortunately, my dad doesn't wear those shoes that often, right? Like those are the dress shoes. Like he's normally in a pair of like work boots. So like stomping in the shoes kind of just like
Livens the fabric up.
livens that leather up. Okay, livens that wingtip leather shoe that he's also buffed out. Like I've watched my dad every time he wears his dress shoes, because he doesn't wear them every day, he has to shine them. So when a man tells me that it only takes him 30 minutes to get dressed, I'm always very suspicious. What have you done, sir? Not enough?
Your prep game must be really intense, like you said. But yeah, like also, she has not a bathroom. Like how this woman. Also, he like I cannot have this conversation again. Yeah, like look at her. I don't know what anyone thinks, like what Igor thinks. Like been seeing this woman every day. Every time you go to dinner and you sat across from that person, and you acknowledge the hair and the makeup and the outfit and everything. Like, how could you think it would take 2 seconds? And also, if you are Rob and you've been on God's green earth for like 30 years, you have to understand. And I know that he understands it because it obviously affects his ego, that he is not providing an adequate dressing room for this woman. There's not much less a vanity, honey. There's like not a bathroom, no vanity. She can't put her makeup on somewhere. There's no outlets for the various tools she needs to use, in order to get everything done by her. There's not good lighting, like she can't even like wash her hands or get some water on a tissue if she needs like it's just every part of it is just not conducive to understanding the needs of a beauty prioritizing individual. Is that a good way to say it?
That is very good.
Here's the thing. You don't have to do that. Like there's so many women that are natural goes and goes, like, and having said that, I think that I want for most women there to be an attached bathroom. So it's like, unless you really want to give me your like a van life adventure lady and I won't, then live your life. I won't yuck your yum or whatever. But like, I want there to be attached bathrooms for anyone. But for wherever you are in your beauty prep or whatever, it's obvious that this person's doing a whole ass lot. I mean, and I can't even talk about, because I won't, because it feels obsessive, why I don't get to see her natural hair, like what I get to see instead, what she's doing to like not have that hair there is in this scene specifically outside. before she starts getting ready for the club. Okay, let's get to the club though. So then we have a very fun conversation where she's like, "You never go to a club? I'd love to go to a club in London. London town club's my favorite. Whatever." And he's like, "Well, babe, clubs in LA, you got to pay $100, which is like a whole bunch of things, right? You do have to pay $100 at some clubs to enter, but that also means that you absolutely have no connects, whatever, and you definitely are not rolling with anyone of any value monetarily. And I'm not saying monetary value is the only thing, but if you're gonna roll into a club, I mean,
How come mine doesn't do that?
okay, sorry. If you're on Patreon, you know what just happened, and we're gonna have to edit this out, which is that I keep streaming, and for some reason, things happen to me when I make certain gesticulations, so I can't do anything now. I'm just like in a hellhole. Okay, so
No, I want mine to do that too. Why doesn't mine do that?
I might have to sit on my hands. I have to sit on my hands because every time it happens, I get very distracted. I know. Okay. So we also know that like people buy bottles at clubs and sit at a certain place, and that's thousands of dollars. So there's that person too who's, and that's obviously not Rob. There are so many things that brings up, and it's so interesting. Like what he is, who he does. He won't say what he's trying to do with his life. Now, we as investigators were like, I'm assuming that you want to be a star. You want to be a star. And so you're here in LA thinking whatever means necessary, which into your mind, probably means actor or whatever. Like, I'm sure people enough told you that you're good looking, that you're like, where is this happening for me? I don't know if he's ever had a commercial agent. I don't know if he's been in a commercial. I don't know where he is in life. He's taken an improv class. He's tried. Is he working scripts? Is he in the acting class? Is he just to me, it seems like this person takes shirtless selfies and then goes on Instagram and then pays certain pages to promote his pictures. And that's what he does for a living or tries to build up every time that he gets an extra $15. But mostly those $15 should have been saved for a fucking bathroom. Why?
Okay, so I think that what he does is he just sends videos of him. Oh, wait, let's get there.
Okay, I love you.
So they're at the place and she's going to invite her friend Sarai and he's going to invite his friend Torai. Not to be confused with Tori. They won't, there's an apostrophe in there. And this friend, Torai, he is very, very skeptical of women. He thinks that they are capable of anything. And he's talking to the cameras and his eyes are open and so is his mouth. If you're on Patreon, you can see the picture that I screen grabbed for him. He is a toxic male. Rob is a toxic male, which makes sense. They're friends. And just the whole conversation about Rob not going to clubs, like I get it. To me, I'm not a club person. I don't think that the club scene in LA is worth it.
Not at all.
I think that I would rather go to Billy's. I don't know if it still exists in New York City. I would rather go to a small like hip hop venue in New York and pay like $40 entry and then dance my balls off. Maybe something in Eastern Europe might be cool to go.
Like Berlin?
Yeah, like I think like I would do something like that.
I gotta go to a club in Berlin.
Yeah. For the experience, right?
Titties out with like just like black duct tape over your titties, like, oh my God. I mean, yes.
But not in LA.
Oh no, in America, I mean, for sure my thing is like in New York and LA, like if you want me to go out with you, you promise me just like a night at a beautiful hotel bar, restaurant. Like in that kind of like, or beautiful restaurant, but like if the kind of bars or restaurants are just like those kind of I need like a beautiful long dinner, maybe that has a bar situation and or a hotel bar for me to like be interested.
You know what I would love?
What?
I would love a recreation of like a 40s like band, like big band situation where you had tables and you got a table and there was someone like Ella Fitzgerald or there was Louis Armstrong doing the band and it was like a 2-hour set and you just had a 2-hour meal service. I would love that. Where you could get up and go dance and then you can come back and sit and order more champagne and you always had oh, great.
You know what's was also the coolest thing about one of the cooler things about those moments? Every table had a fucking phone on it. Do you remember that? And this is what you would do. The way you could flirt is
Is
you could just
call the tables.
is call the table and not have to worry about walking over there or being awkward. Is there like there's just something very hot to this. This is what's hot about it. You're sitting at a table, you're living your life. You look over at a different table and you make eye contact. And then you're like, "Oh, what's that? Who's that? Well, oh, well, okay. I see you." But I'm just gonna look away and just kind of do back my life. Can't stare at someone like I'm on a bus in Greece or something. And then you look back, oh, and you're still looking. And then from there, honey, a ring a ding ding. And
Oh,
then, or can I tell you what's even classier?
what?
Not a ring a ding ding. That happened. And then suddenly the waiter comes over and he was like, "Would you like a drink?" It'd be from table 14. And then
Absolutely.
and then you go, "Yes, can I have a French 75?" And then they bring it. And then you have a first sip and
And
then
then
a
you
ring a
do
ding.
this to them.
Yeah, you go like that, and then a ring a ding ding, and you go,
Mhm.
"Thank you so much for this beautiful drink. How lovely and gracious you are." And then this person says, "I fancy you."
N
Nah.
no, they don't say that. They're like, "How's your evening? Lovely. Hey,
Made
your
more
your
lo made more lovelier by you.
your dress is so striking."
It's, a Madam X's.
Gautier. Mhm.
Mhm, mhm.
Anyways, this is a great fantasy. That's what I want to experience, and then I would love to get on a train and do like a train through the Swiss Alps. But
Yeah, the
anyways, that's not what
Orient
Rob.
Express,
Yeah,
right?
that's not what Rob is about.
Oh, are we talking
So
about Rob still?
yeah,
Ugh.
so they go inside the club,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Sarai gets there, and she looks exactly like whatever Sophie. And so now you know it's some kind of look that they're going for, which is like blondes who are obviously not blondes and their hair looks kind of ratty. We can't see the roots. Is it a wig? It might be, and it's not a good one.
I don't think they look alike. I think they're again, like, Sophie has, like, a whole thing for older people. Sophie's
Shots,
not
shots, 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 shots. They take shots, and Sophie's like, I'm not going to tell anyone that I'm bisexual. They talk about Bumble.
Yeah, this is a very tired producer-led conversation that Tori has taken to be his only objective in this scene, which is, "I saw you on a dating website and you think it was on the friend side only, but I think it was on the dating side because how would I have seen you since I don't want to be friends with you?" And she's like, "But I was only there. See, this person is who I made." And yet we also know that she's bi and she hasn't told anyone. And then in this moment, the reveal to us is also to me that Sarai or no wait, what's her name? Sarai,
Sarai, the 42-year-old.
42-year-old. I mean, she's older than Rob, and I God bless. Sarai, I don't know, and we don't know if Sarai is bi and or lesbian, and that is how they met because we've been knowing that Sophie is bi. She's already been saying it, and so this whole Bumble thing felt like a weird thing where, in fact, she did meet Sarai for lady time, which God bless. So, but then she has to. Sarai's like, "No, I was in the front desk," and then Tori, or whatever. I hate the whatever. Tori or whatever. Tori, whatever. Tori is like, "Are you gay?" And she's like, "No." And then Sophie's like, "Not even Sarai knows that I'm bi.
And then
See?"
cut two, she's like, I'm not gonna tell three people that I'm bi. And this is not the time to come out.
Yeah, it's never the time to do anything in Sophie's. It's not the time to talk about children when you're at David Buster. It's definitely not the time to talk about your sexuality while you're at a hot, sexy club. I mean, so Sophie doesn't, God bless.
And then
Uh,
you
yeah,
want to move on. We gotta move on.
yeah, I can't believe it. Do you want to go have a commercial? Wait. First
We're
of
not
all,
even done, Chris. We
oh, okay.
gotta
Well,
move on. So then this girl has it next morning. She's
oh,
like, I had a dream. They're like,
oh yeah,
Sophie, tell me what's going on. She's like, I had a dream that he was cheating on me. So I said, I never looked through his phone. So I was like, let me look through Rob's phone. So I went through his phone. I went through Instagram, nothing. Then I went through more, and I went to this other
nothing.
nothing. And then I went through more, and then I got to this other app, which she didn't tell us what the fucking app was. I got to this other app, and then I see this him, and he's just been sending videos, asking for videos, just disgusting, disgusting videos from other women where they're like doing things to themselves, and he's sending videos back where he's just like wanking off. Which I'm sorry to say it, but he was wanking off, which is why he hasn't been asking for those kind of videos from me.
Which I think that she's I think that she is a 90-day. I'm sorry. I think that she is an OnlyFans model.
Oh.
Mm.
And so then she has video that she surreptitiously took of him during she's like, just take me somewhere, take me to a hotel, which is where she should have been the whole time. And he's like, listen, I haven't cheated on you, okay? I'm not perfect, but I swear I haven't cheated. And she's like, no, Rob, you can't take pictures of other pictures of women, blah 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 blah. And I just think to myself, like, would I be upset if a guy that I was a fiance to was sending pictures of him, videos of himself masturbating to other women?
I just want to
No,
reiterate.
because of the place that I'm in my life. Like, if you're not actually fucking them, then like whatever. But like, I should know about it at least. Go ahead.
You know what? I don't know for sure if she does OnlyFans. I just went to her Instagram. Not someone had told me that, but her Instagram links are TikTok, fan bases, Twitch, and Cameo. And on her things, she seems to be selling everything but like her fitness and diet plan, her beauty and hair secrets.
Beauty and hair. Sorry.
No, that was loud. No, it was loud. But her hair secrets, and I do it all the time with you. Her hair secrets are hair nightmares. Hair nightmares. I want hers because it's like, oh God, there are so many, right? Like, there are just so many, like, this woman, if she oiled those curly locks and just gave us what God intended to give us, which is the most beautiful curly hair. I mean, even like one point out, she's outside with Rob and Rob's in cornrows, and I'm like, that'd be better than what you're doing. Not this matte blonde. Okay, come here. Okay, so basically, yeah. So then she gets herself her new place. Okay. She's like, I had to move out. I had to move out. Now, where she's living now looks gorgeous, almost like 3rd Street. It's like a Spanish style thing. Like, she has everything. It's like the most beautiful lighting, like bathroom. I'm like, how did this happen? Is this production? What is this? So, but this is where it gets super crazy because she's 23. This person is not right for her. And it's like, you're so rich. You live a fabulous life in London. Just go fucking home. But she's like, I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. It's not so much that he cheated on me or whatever. It's more like, what's gonna happen to me now? And it's like, just fucking go to LAX. This is what you do now. You Uber Black to LAX. You go to the Tom Bradley terminal with your like pink luggage, your like off-brand Toomies, and then you get on a Virgin America flight. I don't know what kind of, like, British Airways flight. Fine. Do it. You go 10 hours to London. 10 hours to London. That's how you do it. That's what you do next. But the fact that she doesn't, the fact that she's like, what do I do now? I have to leave in a month or whatever. I'm like, oh, this whole thing has been you devising a way to be in LA. Like, that's why back when the conversation happened with the kids, she was just like, I just want to be with you, because being with him means she's here doing whatever. It's why she's okay with the bathroom and like that. Like, I think that this is just, again, that I don't have much sympathy for her, even though I hate Rob so much, only because I think they're both wanting bad things for themselves, and they're just going to learn a lesson, which is that this is not how you do it.
You're
I'm
right.
done talking about them.
I'm done too. You've got like side titty.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay, wait. Let's go to commercial. Do you see it? Did you see a little marker came up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been putting them up. Oh, I want that so bad.
I didn't even do anything for it except try and fix a titty.
Is it because you have a new MacBook? You think?
Oh. Yeah, maybe. I bet you you haven't updated your thing yet. Why won't this?
Oh, I have not updated. You're right. I haven't updated it.
Oh, well then, yeah, you can't blame Mac. You gotta blame yourself.
I'm not blaming anyone.
You
I'm
better
asking
blame yourself.
questions.
You look inside yourself before you start pointing fingers at Mac.
There was no pointing fingers at all.
Boop, boop, boop.
Okay, let's come back. Oh my god, you guys, we have got a new couple. New couple alert. New couple alert. Okay, you guys, we have got this, I mean, this is what 90 Day Fiancé is all about, don't you think? We have got Clayton and Annalie.
It starts exactly how we have grown to love the introduction of an eccentric character in the 90-day world. This is how you do it. First of all, it's the eccentric character is either top of the show first episode that starts it, or like this, a beautiful little nugget that happens later. And what it is ridiculous B music. In this case, we got Hawaiian music for no reason. It's like Hawaiian, like ding, 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 like I don't know, like ukulele music. Again, he's nowhere near Hawaii, but it's plucky enough that we're like, what is this thing? And then, of course, it's a grown-ass man playing with the biggest guinea pigs of natural life. I mean, huge. These kinds of, I said this a little bit, sorry, in the reality gaze episode, but when we watched Princess Bride growing up, all of us, multiple times, and he goes to that forest with the incredibly big rodents, SS, whatever they call them, and he has to kill one. And it dies the way it dies. That is a very accurate reference for how big these guinea pigs are. So it's like, okay, well, he loves them and they're in fireman uniform. So already, like, this person's a little bananas. Right away, it's not just them, but they have crazy names. It's Baby Pig and Chocolate. And then it's like 2 chihuahuas that have sombreros on. And you're just like, this is a little much. This is a little much. So you're like, who is this man and what is he, and like already the chihuahuas and the sombreros also give you a hunch that someone else is at foot in this household. It can't all be this man. And there are 2 mental states that come together to make sure that all of these animals are overly pluck and overly big, and also B, dressed the way they are. Now, we had been teased about this. He does have a roommate. It is, in his walk-in closet, his mother, who, my loves, has been plopped down in a walk-in closet for the last 3 years because she is saving money to move out, when we all know, no, she's never moving out. When she and this gentleman walked around and saw that, she's like, I can live here. She thought, and die here. And I mean it.
She did.
She has absolutely, and I mean this, no intent to ever leave that closet ever. And we've been knowing that the moment we saw her. Then she opened her mouth, and then we were like, oh, I wonder what's happening. Then we were like, oh, I wonder what's happening there too. Like, I wonder if there's like a history of some other interesting things that happened there, and this is where I'm going to be honest. There is a huge privilege of like dental healthcare and the way that, like teeth, we see it over in Love After Lockup, the way that teeth and that kind of stuff interacts with society is can be a classist thing. So I do feel somewhat bad talking about this, but it's just, it's hard. Anyway.
Yeah, no. So yeah, let me swoop in. No, you're right. But also there are choices made because that son now has great insurance. And so he's offered because he cares and he realizes what happened to him. And he was like, and she chose to live in a closet. So there is a certain level that she is at. That's where she's at. She is at living in her son. And he keeps saying walk-in closet. That's a regular closet.
Oh,
that's
no,
a slightly
no,
it's a slightly bigger
right.
closet, but it's not by any definition of the word walk-in walking. Okay. And then also there are scenes. I don't know if they like GoPro to camera to the upper right hand corner to where they can get the scenes of her just laying in this space. How they get those, or there's a cameraman just in the corner trying to get that scene, just in there with her up against the wall.
Help.
Trying to get that scene. She collects corks, she collects jewelry, she collects other things, and she has at least one that they would show us storage. Now you know she has more. Don't let them fool us. She has more. And this is the problem that Annalie is walking into, and the son is helpless to it. And he has had so much trauma in his life. And he has manifest that trauma in overweight chihuahuas and 10 guinea pigs. So
I'm just like, I just need to talk about one thing.
okay.
When the storage space rolls up, and it is to the brim filled with small boxes. Like, it's like the boxes that either like paper comes in, like, or shoe boxes. Like, it's not like, it's so what it is little things, just little things that this person keeps thinking, I can't get rid of this, put it in a box, put it in there. Just like, it's not big items. It's not a couch. It's papers and knickknacks and paddywhacks. It's
give a dog
there's
a bone.
bones. There are bones in there, and it might be dogs.
Yeah.
It might be cats. Like, it brought up everything. Like, he says that she's not a hoarder, but she has hoarder tendencies. I mean, in my mind, he knows what it looks like. He knows he has to get his thing out of the way. One other thing about him, interestingly enough, is that he's okay. So he is, I think he said, an engineer.
He's some kind of cybersecurity something.
Yeah, cybersecurity something. And I said maybe engineer, like compute, like, person obviously knows computers.
Works from home.
Works from home. It seems like he makes a decent amount of living, like, so I think that it must be living obviously within his means. And I'm glad he is, because he has to be taking care of his mother. And I'm saying obviously within his means, because I mean, it isn't like he tried to get his mother her own room.
Correct. I think he's living below his means. I think that because he's in Kentucky in a 1-bedroom by choice. Like, he could have 3 years. He could have lived somewhere else so his mother could get a room. And I think it's because he's just chosen, it's fine. It's one of those, it's fine. I think it's better than what he must have been raised with.
Absolutely.
And so he's just like, if I get a bigger space, she'll just fill it with the junk. So I might as well just let her stay in this little space. And then his best friend, Cameron, who, I mean, obviously is in the same level of nerddom as him, but like is very cute. Cameron, who has never spent a penny to see in person. Not a morsel of money to go see that man in person. Who knows where Cameron lives? And also, we know that this man has played so much of this one video game that it has accumulated to 2 years of his life, a little over 2 years of his life. He has all of everything that you can get in this level of this game. He's been in every nook and cranny of it. He's gotten all the power ups, all of the outfits, all of the hats, all the shoes, all of the extra levels.
Characters, he's like, whatever character skin whatever.
Yeah, Chris, it's like beyond anything. And he also has been hidden and been a secret boyfriend before. So that's why he's so traumatized with Annalie, who he met on a, hey, I want to learn another language website.
And he speaks great Spanish.
Yeah. And Annalie has not told her family at all about him. Not at all.
It's interesting the way that he describes their proposal, which is that he proposes, and then she's just like, oh, sorry, Wa's so excited. Now, let me tell you right now, if you're on Patreon, that Wad has got deep into a packet of some sort of M&Ms. I don't know what yellow means.
Yellow is peanut M&Ms.
Oh, you're right. No,
I know I'm right. What do you mean you're right? As though, like, for many you thought I wasn't right?
Okay. I mean, I'm mad that I didn't know. So I'm mad that I didn't know. So he proposes, and she goes, ah.
Well, does that mean yes?
Come
on, Annalie. Sí or no, mi amor, mi vida.
Yeah.
Oh, feliz, muy feliz, Muy feliz, feliz. Yo soy muy feliz.
Yeah, so basically, that's not the kind of answer you'd want to get, and he's still a little bit like he kind of even was like afterward, he doesn't know if it was like real. And okay, so another thing also is that she has a very close relationship with her dad. And you're talking to two people that definitely have close relationships with their dads. But I mean, this person and her talk like 5 times a day. And I guess in my mind, okay, so remember how Thais's dad just hated American men?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know if it's like that kind of thing where she thinks that her dad is just like, no, American
Yes.
men just use women, and you're just going to be like tossed aside, and or I don't want you to leave the family or leave the country. If you're dating American man, you're going to leave, and I say no to that.
Yeah.
Or like what, or if she's like, he's gross, I don't know, I don't know, like which one is it,
I think that in South America for the last 30 to 40 years, American men have been coming over there and snatching up young women to bring to the Americas to either be their wives, and it's a toss up in whether or not they treat them well.
I mean,
Could you imagine the amount of like women who have gone to America for a better life and have heard never heard from their family again, or who have never been able to reach out to their families again, especially before the age of the internet? So I can imagine
yeah,
that is like a thing, right? Because it's
yes.
still a thing. We know it. We know the passport bros. We only have a label for it within the last couple of years. We know that men do this. So American men who cannot find American women or find American women, Colty's one of them. Almost every man on 90 Day Fiancé, unfortunately, is one of them. Right?
That's a whole ass truth.
Yeah. So you have Patrick and Thais who probably aren't that, because obviously they're closer to age than more so. But when you have an older man, and I don't think Annalie and Clayton are, but I think most older fathers who actually give a shit about their daughters might be worried about an older man doing that. Okay, now he is skeptical, but he doesn't want to lose her, so he doesn't want to push her and ask her any of those hard questions. So he even said that he's worried about all of these things, but he's not going to actually ask her because then she may not come. Because she's very much like, if you don't leave me alone, I just won't come. And I'm like, ooh, that's terrible. This guy has some deep-rooted issues, and I actually feel bad for him, but I want to see this. I want to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, because of the mom.
Yeah. And the guinea pigs and the fat chihuahuas. The fat chihuahuas with hats on them.
Sombreros.
He puts them in costumes.
It's a dual effort with him and the mom.
Yeah, it is. It's codependency.
It's great. It's a Grey Gardens. Listen, it is Grey Gardens in every way. Like if yeah. So
have you seen Mother Darling? She's very excited about the cabinet that I recently bought for the cats.
Yeah. I mean, in that kind of way, if this was a play, then Annalise would be like the only saving grace. First of all, this is like prime. Thank you so much, 90 Day Fiancé. This is why it's bad. It's like so bad, it's good. Do you want to move on?
Yep.
Well, it's like, no, I think we should do 45 minutes for each couple. Let's move on to Gino and Jasmine, because Jasmine's dad definitely does not care about whether Jasmine marries an old American man. I definitely haven't seen that. Has that scene ever happened of Jasmine's dad being like, oh, this big American strong man's going to take advantage of you? I just want to know if that's happened.
No, but her mom did the same thing. Like her mom didn't want her to be with Gino. I don't know where Jasmine's dad is. Which may account for Jasmine's ridiculous behavior. So she is itchy. Jasmine is itchy. And she doesn't know why. And she's upset. And she turns to Gino and she's like, I'm itchy, baby. Baby, it's the dust in the house, baby. I'm so itchy. And he's like, no, it can't be. My house is not dirty. And it's because he thinks that a dirty house is a hoarder house. And because his house is not a hoarder house, then it can't be dirty. But I'm here to tell you that it's probably a combination of the fact that she's now in dry weather as opposed to supple, humid weather of Panama. She's now in cold Michigan where it's now dry. It's not humid. And so it's probably that plus the dust. I'm not going to throw the dust as not an option. And she's trying to talk to him about it. And he's insistent that all of a sudden she's allergic to almonds. And she's like, baby, no, I eat peanut butter all the time. It's this house. I don't think it's too much to ask that I get a new pillow. And he's like, well, I'll get you a new pillow, but I'm not getting a new pillow. And he's so aggressively against it that it feels like, oh, you think that she's insulting your way of living, and you are really feeling a ways about it. You won't buy yourself a pillow. Pillows cost $35. You're going to spend less than $100 for a pillow. And he even spends less than that because he takes her to a thrift store afterwards or a discount store. Woo!
You know, this is like, yeah, it's like scarcity mindset. I mean, maybe because he also quit his job for a reason. I mean, you should not quit your job if you are not financially secure. So, I
Yes.
mean, is that bad to say? It's like, yeah,
No.
we all want time off. And I get that while you were like, he took time off to spend time with her. But it's like, you do have time together though, because at the same time, you have to work. She wants hair. She's been saying she wants hair. She doesn't want more use. She wants fancy hair and fancy nails. She wants every part of her body to be exactly how she wants it and away from how it naturally is. And that costs money. It just does. Like, it just is, like, if you don't want to spend money, then you can really do like a hyper great beauty regime where you do your own nails and you just like put clear polish on them and you just file and shape them and you oil your hair, and you have like homemade masks with coconut oil. You could do it, but like, and that's that person though, even as I said, the Robin Knob thing, that person still requires a bathroom attached.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But when yeah, like you can still do all the stuff, but she needs money to do what she wants to do. And it still just makes me crazy that like he doesn't know that. But she is itchy, she is puffy. He's blaming what? Blue Diamond almonds. Because she bought a like a share bag as big as was. And she can't have anything in the house. Like, for some reason, there is no like Whole Foods, or she hasn't like taken the steps to make sure that she had beans and rice and things to do complete proteins. She complains a lot about the food that she has and what she's allowed to eat because she's vegan or whatever. And so she's like, all I eat is fucking nuts, almonds and nuts. I've been eating nuts. I eat nuts. Now, one small thing about nuts is that there sometimes can be different molds in nuts. Like cashews is a high mold in nuts. So sometimes people have reactions to not the nuts, but the molds. Anyway, go ahead, Wa.
Yeah. So
I love you.
he's so annoying that he won't buy new bedding for her. I require new bedding.
How often?
I require fresh bedding. I recently bought 4 sets of sheets. I didn't mean to. I feel like I bought 2 sets and then forgot and then bought 2 more. So 2 of them are still in the packaging because I don't need to take them out. But I think that it's only healthy and clean to do so. There are dust mites and bed mites, like not like bugs, but like mites, like little microscopic thingies that you need to clean. I just recently, and I don't do it every month. I just did it one time, and now I need to do it every 6 months. I realized, put some baking soda on the mattress and vacuumed it up. And I wash my like thing underneath my sheets, my mattress pad. I wash that once a month. And I change my sheets every week. Like, 2 weeks if I'm in a depressive mode. Like, I move these things, and you have to do that. And now, if somebody were to come and stay with me, I would change all of that. And I would clean it. Chris does it for me when I go stay at her place.
Change my sheets, of course.
Yes. And I would change my sheets if someone came and stayed with me. So it's crazy that you wouldn't even change your sheets or buy new sheets for someone who's coming to stay with you. You quit your job, but you won't change your sheets? That don't make no sense to me. So
it also, just like this, some people don't understand dust mites, hair, or like oil, like sweat. I don't think men, skin, like, remember when like the whole thing was like, you have to change your mattress every year because it's like doubles in weight because of like how much shit your body just absorbs into the fucking mattress. Gross. But I also feel like certain
Yes.
people, and definitely it's not just gender specific, but it's it could be a stereotypical older gentleman thing that like hygiene and the cleanliness and how they view certain things and what's dirty is just different, right? Like whether you walk around, with shoes on and on a carpet, whether you put your suitcase on a bed, there's all of that. That's like whether you think that's dirty or not. And Gino doesn't think that a pillow needs to be thrown away because it's dirty on the inside if it's still intact. It's just right.
Yeah. I washed my pillows before my person came to my house. I made a like borax baking soda liquid detergent solution in the tub and washed my pillows. I don't know when the last time I did that. I never did it before, but when that person came and laid his head on my pillows, I made sure that they were clean. And now I'll do that every 6 months because I'm not buying new pillows. Like I'm not buying new pillows, but
Oh.
I'm gonna clean them.
Yeah. So back to the story. Look at this. At this shop, we gave you on the reality games one of our best performances, which was our theater rendition of the scene between Gino, Jasmine, and the pillow salesperson
At Dee Dee's discount because he took her to a place that's less than Ross. He took her to a discount store. It looks like a thrift store, but it isn't secondhand. It is just so off season that even Ross doesn't want it. So they get there and she's like, baby, look. And she asks the salesperson about changing the pillows. The person says like once a year or every 6 months. And he's like, not night pillows. And while she's looking around in this store, he's just so upset that she is in here trying to change anything in his home because he believes that his home is not hoarder level dirty, so therefore not dirty.
Mhm.
And then she begins to cry because she realizes that she's not a good mother and that her kids deserve more. But then they go in ahead and they call Fiancé y'all on his mouth like liquor, like liquor, like liquor. I'm sorry, hit that. Fiancé is a great name, but
Yep.
also a good name for me to make Beyonce references to.
True. And fiance reference to it's 90-day Fiancé.
Fiancé, fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she had picked up like some betting with some soccer or something like that, like football. I don't know, one of the sports, football. I'm not sure.
Yeah. She's like, he takes soccer classes and he really loves everything is soccer. And I'm like, soccer classes? What's a soccer class? You mean like
league? She means like she didn't know. Yeah, games. But I'll be honest, she starts crying because she is like, he's so good. He's so good. And I sometimes think I do not deserve him and I'm going to mess him up. Now, this is a hard one for us to watch because all of us.
She's right.
Right. She's right. She's correct. And we're scared. And listen, I won't put that on her as being the only woman in the world to fuck up a child, like for some reason it's a grand tradition, and not even just on 90 Fiance, but in life. But it's like so and maybe
it's
she
a grand tradition of
maybe it's a mother wound.
Mother. Yeah.
Maybe it's a mother wound that she's gonna pass on. But the other half of me is like, I wonder though, in his formative years, he she is abandoning him to be on the show and in life or whatever. But I wonder if it's in fact better for him. I don't really know. But he, for all intents and purposes, does seem to love his mom. I mean, at least in these video chats.
I don't think that she's abandoning him. I don't think she has been, because the truth is that filming is not 24 hours of their life.
Okay.
I think if you go to work, you're just as much out of your kid's life as if you're filming, right? So we love to like.
You're right.
Like, yeah. So I think
am I mom shaming her? Yeah, I am. You can cut that
a little because we don't know, right? We don't know.
Right.
Every time the cameras are around, the kids are not there, and that might be on purpose, and it's good. And so it feels like she's never around her kids, but that doesn't mean she isn't. The moment the cameras are off. So anyways, Gino then gets in there, and he's like, "Hi, it's Daddy Gino. Hello, Fiancé." And then he's like, but me muy bon. And she's like, that's Portuguese. fucking gringo, stupid fucking gringo. Because your ex-wife is Portuguese. It's me, I speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot, fuck. So he slips up because he just doesn't fucking know how to say hola, mucho gusto, or something. I just Gino is such an American bumpkin. The fact that he won't learn things in Spanish is so stupid to me.
Bueno, he messed up bueno. Okay. So anyway, yes, that is freaking gringo. I loved it so much. Yeah. They bought the pillows, Jasmine gets her way there, like moving on. I don't know what to tell you. Do you want to
Moving
move on?
on? Moving on.
Yeah. To who? Nikki and Justin, or do you want to go Devin and Nick? Got it. Devin and Nick, honey. I like this dress that Devin's wearing. It's like this little like kind of like Selkie or one of those just like princess kind of like Empire waist, big bluesy sleeve thing that took over all the goils, and it took over me too, which is why I like it. It's fine. But God bless. Well.
Yeah, I mean, I really do think that he's so tan and so like hot. And then she just I just love I love that they look so cute together to me.
Yeah, I think that she is like super super cute and super
Yeah.
interesting, and
Yeah.
the way she talks is so very specifically her. She's a very, her personality is
So
muted. She's obviously
quiet and
introvert.
demure. Yeah,
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 she is.
quiet and
Like,
demure.
but it doesn't seem like it's a put on. It just really much seems like this person is allowing herself to be on camera, and it's not her usual cup of tea, and she just, I mean, yeah, like she got off a plane and she was wearing sweats. And anyway, so
Wait, do you think that
Soul
he was the one who told her to apply for this show? Because she had to apply for it as the American. It's always interesting to me when the American is the one that's like demure, like Holly, or like they're the one that are like weird and like aren't good at being on camera, but they're the ones who applied for it. Like Amanda. Did Rosamund force Amanda to apply for this?
That's a great question. I don't know. You're right. I don't know. It's a great question. But, hot off of her getting there and them crying to be together, which is really cute, and him wanting also to like break the bed. We're driving through Seoul. And it looks so interesting. Seoul, interesting. Ha ha ha. I'm sorry. And of course, they also drive by a karaoke place, look like a karaoke fucking palace that was open till 3 a.m. Now, Korean karaoke is unfuckingly believably fun.
Oh
And
my
so,
God. I have to
like,
go.
yeah, I mean, in life, obviously, I would love to go in, there, but it became a whole thing, at least in LA, where you could go to like K-Town and get private karaoke boxes. And the karaoke there, like, obviously has a lot of like Korean songs, and you like can just like you have your own remote control, and you just put in song after song, and you either bring your own alcohol or they have some there, snacks, you just have your own room, and you just like get messed up, and then someone's always singing, and you can kind of like do whatever you want. It's fun.
Yeah. I did Backstreet Boys in K-Town. Sure to get down, good Lord, or go
That's
high.
not Backstreet Boys.
Sorry, I meant sorry.
Oh.
Fucking calm the fuck down.
We all thought it. No, I had to speak. I had to. I get it.
Blackstreet. Sure to get down, good Lord. Baby got a bumping all over town. Strictly bitch, you don't play around. Cover much ground. Got game by the pound. That's what I say.
Great. If only we could hear you sing it now.
I love this.
So yeah, obviously when the movie came up, I was like, oh, Wa's gonna die. So he takes her around, and they go to a market and they get skewers and they say chicken. For a moment, I'm like, is this bitch gonna do that thing where he's like, yeah, it's just chicken, but it's actually chicken feet, because we had that like foreshadowing event where he's like, if Americans only knew that it wasn't chicken feet, they would love it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, if you make this woman eat chicken feet without her telling her that's chicken feet, I'd be so upset. But she's like down. He's like, how spicy do you want? She's like, medium. And he's like, okay. Or maybe she said spicy. I'm not quite sure. I know that as a medium loving spicy person, I would never say hot in a foreign country, because I just can't imagine that I will be able to eat it. But that's just because I'm so scared of the subjectiveness of what spiciness is. What?
Yeah, I love spicy. So I would say medium too, because other people spicy be like, I can't taste my tongue can't use my tongue for taste for the next couple days. And I don't want that. I want to still enjoy. I want my nose to run. but I don't want to not be able to taste the food. So they talk about the way that she needs to behave around his family. That when being passed a beverage, she needs to take the beverage and in hand like this and kind of do a slight bow. And so she's like, okay, we need a bow. And he's like, not a bow, but like a bow. And so she's like, okay. She's like eating this chicken because she's hungry and we all hungry. And then she's like, also, when you drink, you don't want to look the older person in the eye. And so then, she's like, oh, okay. But I'm like, girl, you don't look people in the eye when you drink anyway. When you drink, you're just like, you're not like,
When you cheers, you do. Babe, if we were to cheers right now, our glasses, etiquette, we would have to drink looking at each other.
Oh, I've never looked at anybody. I'm always just like, oh.
Oh my God, I had people that used to like scream at me if I didn't do it. And so I look exactly like, I mean, just like.
Scream at you? Who are these adults? Who are
This
they?
is me. If you take a clink, this is me. This is me right into your face. I will be wide-eyed, honey. Like, I am making eye contact. So
that is crazy. No, I've never heard that.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely true. So here's the other thing. He's like, doesn't want to say the thing, which is the following, like a couple of probably things, but one thing is, low-key, my parents do not want me to marry an American for a billion reasons. A, because it takes me out of the household, which is something we know from other Eastern, like Indian cultures, whatever. But like, also specifically, it takes me out of caring for them in their elder age. My
Because they know Americans don't want to take care of their parents. Americans drop their parents off in homes and go about their business, but that's not all Americans,
It's interesting though, because it's like, think about Handy and Brittany. Like, Handy and Brittany loved her lockup. Handy feels very much like the minute that a child can walk, he's like, cut the cord. But let's just say 18.
Yeah.
So it's funny because then, why would Handy's son
take care of him?
Or his daughters want to take care of him in his elder age, knowing that that he did the bare minimum. The bare minimum. They must be like, listen, you did the bare minimum and we didn't even ask to be in this fucked up situation. You brought us into a relationship that you knew was fucked up with an addict. And then after that was done, you just left us. And so now that you're dying and I'm in the height of my love and my feeling the best, no, you kicked me out at 17 and 18. Like, you're good. And if you don't have any money, maybe you should have thought of, I don't know, not giving it to every fucking addict after you left my mom. I don't know you.
No, I feel the same way because I can't even imagine. I mean, even though I have the rockiest relationship with my mother, I can't even imagine putting her in a home. Now, I would make sure one of my other siblings took care of her, but I can't imagine putting her in a home. I can't imagine it. I would be like, if there was nobody else to take care of her, I'd be like, okay, come here, and I will take care of you.
Really?
Yeah.
You would try and put her in a fancy home.
No. I would come and take her because
I hope she never listens to this. Cut out what I just said. Yeah. Okay.
No, the reason why is because she's not, even at this current point, she is not who she was when she was at the height of her evil. Okay. She's just no longer that person anymore. She's no longer under the stress, under the duress. She's just no longer that person. So I would be like, come on, just come over here. Let's do whatever. Where do you need me to drop you off? Okay, here's how to use Uber. I'm not dropping you anywhere. Here's how to do Uber. Okay, if you want to get food, here's how to order it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyways, so to me, when people are like that, I'm just like, no, because I can still go home and live at my parents' home.
Yes.
I could still, if I needed money, they would come through.
Yeah.
So there's still that openness, that availability to it. And when people cut that off, those are the people that need to go to homes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah. So anyways,
basically, so basically the other thing about her is that, she's a sensitive flower. Delicate, sensitive flower, honey. She's just.
I'm sorry. Who are we talking about? Devin. Great. Go ahead.
Your mom. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I lost where I was.
I know. So he's like all the things. He's also like, just don't cry. It's okay. Just how do I say this? Whatever you do, also just don't look at him. Don't cry. Just, I don't even know what he expects this. It's like you just need to be kind of like a demure.
Check. She's demure, so check.
Yeah, but like, yeah, he needs her to like have her shit together. And what's difficult is she's going to come up against someone who's culturally going to come off as a very dry, cold person to her, because this person doesn't they don't speak at all common language, and there's such a divide, and she represents taking away her son and doesn't even want her there anyway. So she's going to feel that, and I think that he knows that and is like, just if you feel anything weird, just keep it on the inside, which is scary to say, but also like great theater.
Also smile. Yeah, also smile.
Yeah.
Also just be chill. Don't do anything too big. Also, the parents are going to think that you are a whore who has just been spreading her legs for everyone for as far as the eye can see, because that's what they think of American women who are just loosey goosey in the streets.
I
So
don't
that's fun.
understand why doesn't she want to go to Australia? Because he cannot go to CRC, and she should know that. Why isn't there
Maybe because she's doesn't want to actually, people love to, like that one girl who went to see that one light-eyed man on the boat. Like, they want to go visit these places, but at the end of the day, they want to live in their small, cheap town, right? You're going to bring the foreigner to Wyoming. You're going to bring the foreigner to Arkansas because, like, why not?
because he'll hate it. He'll hate every second of it. But and he knows it. He knows it just because he's been around them parts. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's also so funny, yeah, because she definitely isn't someone who like has slept around, and that is one thing that I feel like once his parents meet her, they won't think she's a slut. I feel like, because she doesn't give off that energy. But speaking of slut energy, shall we move on?
Yeah.
I'm like, Waz, like, who you bringing move on to with that kind of
Yeah.
intro? Nikki and Justin.
Oh, yeah. We skipped over them 100%.
I know we did. And I don't mind not talking about them because it's very hard. But
It is hard.
she does give slutty energy.
Yeah.
I can say she does give slutty. The way every dress, everything is like showing the tightest outfits, the tightest boobs. Like, she wants everything to be. She looks like a sex doll.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest thing that we find out in this scene is that she has given him a lot of money, 7K specifically for a nose job.
We called
And
it. We did know was it.
yeah, we did knows that he had a nose job. But the thing is, though, he is denying that happened because he paid her back. And
Did he
I
though?
I don't know, but I want to know how much. Like, I want to know in total how much she's gave him for petrol, for bills, or whatever.
Yes.
I want to know that. And then also, someone also brought up, and I don't know if it was Maddie, but it's that if the ages are not ages, if the genders were changed, if she were the older gentleman and he were the young woman, and the older gentleman were to be like, in 48 hours, if you don't have sex with me, I'm leaving and this is all over, would we think, oh my God, that's so disgusting? Just because you've given this person a nose job and you've paid for all these things doesn't mean that this poor Moldovan youngin owes you sex.
You know what? Obviously, we would. And it's interesting because
So then I don't think that Igor owes her sex.
oh yeah, no one owes anyone anything except authenticity and the truth if asked for it. So I think what you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that if you okay, that's all I'd say. I think that what you owe someone if you're in a relationship with them is to keep your side of the street clean. And that just means to try, if you can, if push comes to shove, share as much of your actual truth or authenticity in a very sincere way without hurting someone if asked. So what she at her core wants to be like is like, are you attracted to me enough to have sex with me and be proud of me, and can you love me like the person that I am without any love me the person that I am. Love me. Can you have are you attracted? Like, this is, by the way, whatever. This is like so fucking universal. Are you into me? Are you sexually attracted to me? Why aren't you what seeming like is giving me the affection or attention that I am used to, or what usually makes me feel secure, and I feel like something is off, and what is that? So is it that you have to Is it that you do love me and there are some things that I have to be patient for as you remedy them in your own mind and soul and body? Or are you using me and you never can connect with me this way and you aren't being truthful? And that's not being said. And then what we do get is like a lot of argumentative banter and whether, like fights back and forth because she wants sexual attention. She wants that intimate connection. She wants that validation, and he's not giving it to her. And when he tries to understand why, or when he tries to tell her why, it's a lot of like, well, we connect as soulmate. And she's like, oh, no, 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 no. If you don't connect me physically, then we're not connecting. And and to be able to say that in a way, or to be able to understand what she needs and to be able to express it is where she's lacking, because you can't just make demands of people. You have to be patient. You have to be slow about things. And you also have to be realistic about what's real life and what's delusion. Like, I don't know the answer to this, but I haven't spent so many years with this person, but also I don't know how much money I've given this person. So it's all fucked up, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you. It really is all messed up. So then they go to dinner, and when they're at dinner, and everybody's face is no one's face is blurry. So they've
Great,
all
great
agreed
call.
to this.
Mhm.
And she believes that someone has clocked her. And I don't understand how she delineates or tells the difference between someone who has clocked her and someone who's just staring at her because she looks fucking crazy.
That's true.
And so for her to say that somebody's clocked her is, to me, not necessarily valid unless they point and say, I believe this person is trans. I
She
believe this
says
person looks fucking crazy, is what it is to me. Like, she looks like a person who's had way too much plastic surgery. And I don't know that I'd be able to tell if she were trans or not.
She says it's because she had said out loud, "'Cause I was born a man." Like, in this
Oh,
conversation, she says that in English out loud, and then now this part is where I feel is like it's producer fed, because why would you say that out loud if you had
yes.
any sort of course, of course, of course. And now
Yes.
she could be like, "Well, I don't care, and now they heard me, and now they clocked me," and it's like, well, they're gonna clock you if you, I don't know, say that you were trans. I mean, that's kind of like what it is a little bit. But Waz right, that she it's yeah, it's like it's a weird, interesting thing because
And she wasn't born a
he's
man. She was born male. And like one and two,
I don't know
like
if I said that right. I hope I did say that right. I think that I was trying
no,
to
she
quote what
said
she
no,
said.
no, she
Okay,
said
good.
man. She said man. She was born a male. And I also think that like the way that she speaks about it is in a different way than I think a lot of folks speak about it now. So
Yes,
I'm trying
she's
to
old.
understand. She's old, and there's another artist out there. Her name is Flame Monroe, who, and also, you know who also does this is Frida, Big Frida. They, because they're from a different
Mhm,
generation of
mhm,
transness, they
mhm.
speak about it in a way that allows space for those who knew them transition,
Mm.
for those people to be confused and upset and misgender them in a way that the newer generation do not allow. And it's just interesting the way that different generations of trans people move through the space, because T.S. Madison to me is of the maybe not the Flame Monroe world, but T.S. Madison moves through her transness in a different way as well. So it's just all very interesting to
Yes.
me. It's just all very interesting from all the folks that I follow who are trans. And I guess mainly I follow trans women of color. Like, I used to follow Gigi Gorgeous, but the opulence of the richness of the whiteness got too much for me, so I was like, couldn't do it. But the black folks that I follow, their stories are a little different and a little bit more understanding, and there's just a different way that they maneuver through the world.
Yeah, so basically they get in they after their like fight in the picnic area, and after they have a good dinner, they wake up and they have like a fight over, or they fight over at the dinner of whether she's going to go to the gym that he usually goes to, whether he's going to take her to a gym that she'd like to go to, or be better for her. And he gives her a small win in that after she gets clocked, she says I mean, this was what I feels like he does this for her, which is to make her feel secure, that he like kind of gets up and then just kisses her and sits back down. And I do feel like that gave her something. I mean, I'm like, is this whole season going to be whether he fucks her or not?
I feel like it, and I don't want that because I need them to get to the US to actually be on 90 Day Fiancé and not before that.
She's not wrong. So we have come to the end. The end of this episode. I don't know. I'm sorry. The end of this episode. So
Yeah, let's get out of here. Bye. No Ashley and Manuel. That was sad.
there's no Ashley Mello. It's true. I will say this one thing though. I would absolutely go to a Berlin club with Nikki and Igor.
Not with me.
Okay.
Rude.
You're not on
Nope.
the, you're not
Done.
on the show. Not
So
on
if
the
you
show.
want to look at,
Not on the show. I'm sorry. I was
listen,
thinking of
if you want to
characters
join
on the
us,
show. Okay.
you would go to DocuSweeties, patreon.com/DocuSweeties, $10 a month. We do a live every first Monday of the month, which is tomorrow. Chris is no longer my friend, so I don't know if she's coming back and going to be here with me tomorrow because she doesn't want to go to Berlin. But that's fine. If you want to support us, join our Patreon. If you want to support us, but you can't join our Patreon, Chris will give you the other options.
You can go to Instagram, have you heard of it, and type in @DocuSweeties. We also exist on TikTok @DocuSweeties. We're on X, Twitter, maybe, I'm not quite sure, @DocuSweeties1, and we have a Facebook group @DocuSweeties podcast Facebook group. Other than that, we have had such a great couple of weeks, and we're so excited to give even more content and kind of like gear up. We definitely have some docu-series we want to do. And all the things. We're following Love After Lockup. We know that we are a little bit behind on some Last Resorts. We'll figure that one out too. Well, I was mad that I even brought it up, but she wants to, The Last Resort. This became like a basement baby for us, where we just had this baby. We raised the baby until like 2 or 3, and then Juan, I just put that baby in a cupboard, just like fucking what's his face's mom, walk-in closet, and just been like, "What baby? No, I don't know what's in there." And then like the baby cries, we're like, "Nothing's in there." Like we get to get over it. We understand that. So, thank you for your patience. We hope you had a great Halloween. We're thankful for you in this season, and we're gonna have some fun for Christmas too. So, the holidays. Thank you.
All right, you guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. You could wait for me